So you're dreaming of a life in El Campo in Spain, the beautiful Spanish countryside with fresh air, peaceful evenings watching the sunset, or maybe sipping wine in an olive grove. Well, my friends, let me pour you a little glass of reality. The dream may be siestas and sunsets, but the reality is Wi-Fi that will make you cry in your Rioja. You see, depending on where you live in El Campo, your choices may be very limited on your internet selection. And for us, we get lucky because we can actually see, we have a line of sight to the village. So this little guy right here is pointed at the city hall, and we pull Wi-Fi somehow off of the city hall, but if it's raining or cloudy or the weather's bad, we don't get that good of a signal off of the Wi-Fi. So you might be looking to Netflix and chill on those rainy days, but really it's chill and watch Netflix buffer. So your Wi-Fi can be challenging. And if you don't have a direct line of sight to a city hall, I don't know what you do. I guess you get Starlink or some other form of internet that you'll have to deal with, which might cost a lot more money. Number two, let's talk about healthcare. Sure, we have a village doctor here, but their funding got cut last year, so they're only open 3 days a week. I'm not sure of the hours, but the next village over, there is a doctor there 24/7. There's an emergency room, but the doctor's hours are from 9 to 2. So if you go to one of these little villages, sure, you might be able to get your blood pressure checked, but they might tell you to drive an hour to go get an aspirin at the hospital. So, a lot of us who are moving to Spain are thinking about doing this as a retirement like we are. So we're getting a little bit up in our years. So healthcare is something important to consider. So think about how far that drive to the actual hospital might be if you have a big emergency. Don't break your leg unless you want to drive an hour to go get it fixed. Oh, and another fun pro tip here. I just learned, my sister-in-law was just here and she's a police officer here in Spain. And it's illegal to drive with a cast here in Spain. I said, how do people get to work? She said, that's their problem. They have to get a bus, and here in the countryside we don't have a bus system, so you'd have to get a taxi or have somebody else drive you if you actually needed to get around for 6 weeks while you had a cast if you did break something here in Spain. So be careful out there, kids. Living in El Campo can get a little lonely. You could start to feel some isolation being out here in the country all by yourself. Sure, your neighbors are great, but they might want to just talk to you about plowing the hayfield for the next 9 hours while their dogs bark in the background. Another thing about being isolated out here in El Campo is if you want to get out for some nightlife, maybe in your own backyard and watch the stars, be careful because the bats come out after dark. And trust me, I should know because we just had one in our house. We had to call the Forest Service out here, and it was kind of a big deal because you're not allowed to kill the bats, and I had to capture the bat, and then the bat seemed sick and I didn't want to release the bat. So it was a whole big ordeal. And that's how we actually know about the healthcare system too, because we went to talk to the doctor's office about whether they have rabies around here and different questions we had, because that's a bigger concern in the US where we come from. And also, while I was shooting this, my wife's out here doing some yard work. There she is right there. She just noticed this fox poop right here in our front yard. So lots of critters out here running around in El Campo. I think we're on number 5. Number 5, cars. A lot of people dream of coming to Spain and not owning a car. That's not happening in El Campo. No car, no life. And don't expect it to ever be clean. No. You're driving around country roads, getting dirty all the time out here in the Campo. Oh, and without a car, a lot of times, there's other certain necessities you're gonna need with your car. Like for instance, we can't drink the water in our house. So we have to go to town every couple days and fill up all these water bottles. Oh, and while you're in town, don't forget to take the trash because there's no trash service out here. So you get to put the trash in your car also. I suggest putting down a piece of cardboard to help keep your car a little bit clean, because this lifestyle out here in El Campo, it's tough on the old coches. Let's talk about shopping. You want to go to the grocery store at 3 p.m.? No. You got to wait till 6 when they open back up, because everything closes from 2 to 6 for the siesta time, so everybody can go home and have lunch at home. So, these tiny little refrigerators, they get empty pretty quick. So you got to time your shopping accordingly so that you can get to the store. You want to go to the grocery store on Sunday? Oh, no. Forget about that idea out here in El Campo. The shops are open more kind of based on a vibe rather than having hours based on logic. So plan your shopping accordingly. Weather, that's the main reason a lot of people move to Spain, the beautiful sunny weather all the time. But you forget, in the wintertime, it's freezing cold. So hopefully you have one of these, because these old stone houses don't have very good insulation. And in the summertime, you better hope you have one of these, because it gets downright hot out here. These houses don't stay hot or cold very well. So you're gonna need this and this. Good night's rest in the peaceful and tranquil El Campo. Not quite, my friends. That rooster out there, he don't have a watch, and he crows anytime he wants. It could be 1 a.m., it could be 3 a.m. Usually he starts every day by 5 a.m., and then that gets the dogs up. Then the dogs start barking, and then by 6:30, that farmer, yep, he's on his tractor out there plowing the fields. So early to bed, early to rise out here in El Campo, if you can get your go to sleep in the first place. Also, we don't have air conditioning here in the bedroom, so we sleep with the windows open, and that lets all of that noise just flow in as soon as it gets started. Number 9, jobs. If you're not retired and you're thinking about moving out here to El Campo, you better like these guys. You could probably get a job picking olives or farming, or maybe you can get one of those coveted internet jobs, but just be sure you got that Wi-Fi fast enough that you can get your job done. You might freeze up in the middle of your Zoom call every time you try to look professional. So get used to these olives or live on a pension. And number 10 is one of the main reasons people come out to El Campo. It's this slow living, this slow pace of life. And it's got its ups and its downs, but you want to get that Amazon package delivered? I could show you, I should do a screenshot and show you my Amazon delivery schedule. I've had some that took 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I had multiple Amazon packages that just never arrived. They just never showed up. They just got lost. I had some that got delivered that said they were lost. I got some that got lost that said they were delivered. And I've got one that's been 4 weeks and it's still not through customs yet, coming from China from somewhere. So that slow living, sometimes time out here takes a siesta of itself. So if you're ready for dodgy Wi-Fi, barking dogs, and bureaucracy that will make you want to cry into your Rioja, bienvenidos El Campo. But once you get used to the chaos and you embrace it and you learn to roll with the punches, you're never going to want to leave. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you want more information about living a life in rural Spain. That's what we're here about. I tried to make this one a little bit humorous, but we're trying to build the channel. I have over 25,000 views on my channel and less than 1,000 subscribers. So if you like this content, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll keep making more.